Hoiberg will launch the three. Oh, he hits!
Clobber to left field. Another double for Washington. This time it's Nick Kresnak.
But no doubt, 2-run, go-ahead homer in the 7th. The bat flip puts the exclamation mark on a comeback.
An RBI knock from Kreznak, who's had an incredible night.
Sam Hoiberg, the son of the coach, to steal the bucket.
Bonus episode. Welcome back to the sports section. I'm your host, Matthew Mounsey, joined by the first ever guest host, our man Patrick Kane. Everybody, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
There he is. Now, Patty, tell me first where you are and how you got there from your journeys this weekend.
Well, yeah, currently I'm in Seattle, Washington. That's where I reside. Born and raised here. Last weekend, I guess this past weekend, I was in Madison, Wisconsin, rooting on my Huskies, and didn't get it done. And we can dive into that, but gosh, it was a tough one out there in Madison. You know, they like to party. It was a good time. We had a great time, but really, really difficult pill to swallow when it comes to that result. And I know this is a national sports podcast, but I have a lot of thoughts.
I know you do. You had our first ever voicemail. Thank you for leaving your thoughts.
Happy to.
The folks saw that on Tuesday's episode. This episode comes out Thursday. Tomorrow, myself and Krez will have a UFC preview. And then Saturday night, the first edition of the sports section After Dark will be live on YouTube for a recap of everything immediately after the conclusion of UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. It'll be a late night. We're going to have some fun. Let's dive into it, Patty, our resident college football expert. Let's start with that Washington game. Welcome to the Big Ten, pal. 13-10, the score between the UWs. Hunter for Wisconsin, as we mentioned last episode, had more passing yards than the quarterback. Damon Williams and this UW offense had been a juggernaut this season. What went wrong in Madison?
A lot of things went wrong. Tough to really put it on one specific thing. The biggest overall issue that we have currently going on with our program is a lack of toughness. Stems from coaching, in my opinion, but you look at the road record under Jed Fish, and we are two different teams when we play at Husky Stadium when we're on the road. Specifically on Saturday, what went wrong? We had a lot of injuries, which is not an excuse, but really we just got dominated on the O-line. We couldn't get any push, couldn't get really anything going offensively. When you lose your best running back and receiver too, that doesn't help. It's kind of a double-edged sword, the way Jed Fish likes to play a bunch of freshmen. So we learned our lesson how that works on Saturday.
Well, there go the golden flashes. Play the fight song. I got the action on in the background, Kent State and Akron.
Tuesday tradition.
Tuesday, baby. We talked about it last week. Hey, and speaking of Tuesdays, it had been Conference USA on Tuesdays prior to the MAC. I want to give a shout out. I'm repping them today. My guys, the Bears from Missouri State. Got this from Charlie Spoonhour, pitcher on the baseball team. One of my good buddies from this summer. It's his birthday today. I want to give a shout out to Spoon on the pod. Happy birthday, buddy.
Boone.
Boone. I think we'll get into my journeys in Elizabethton, Tennessee from this summer. Probably on a different episode, but some good stories from there. So, Patty, you mentioned Jed Fish. I want to get into this coaching carousel with you because it's ridiculous. And I think everyone at Washington wants Jed Fish out. There's not really, in my mind, a doubt about that. But the problem with being in that position, as is the same for a lot of schools, you saw Wisconsin say that Luke Fickell's going to be back next season despite their horrible year. Who are you going to go hire? Can you really fire Jed Fish at this point?
From my perspective, they're not going to fire him. The only real reason would be if some scandal came out, which I don't foresee happening. You hit the nail on the head. When it comes to options, there's not many. And when you look at who's out there shopping, we're probably not the top destination. I don't even know if we're in the top 5, top 6. Who knows? Really, though, when I take a look at who I want to go get, if we were going to go get a coach, it's got to be some young, hungry coordinator that is committed to this program and committed to this school. No, it's hard to find these days, but I think that's the kind of guy Husky Nation would want. But we'll see.
So I've got some coaches written down here, and I want to talk about some vacancies and potentially where you see guys fitting in. So let's go through it really quick. It's a ridiculous list. There have just been so many firings already this year, especially in the SEC. Hugh Freeze out at Auburn, Brian Kelly out at LSU, Billy Napier gets fired from Florida, Sam Pittman is done at Arkansas, Penn State canned James Franklin multiple weeks ago, and then even schools like UCLA, Stanford, Oklahoma State, they fired Mike Gundy. There's so many vacancies, and there's just not a lot of successful coaches. I do have a couple candidates I want to talk about. We've covered Lane Kiffin on this show. I have a very strong opinion that he's happy in Oxford. He keeps saying that time and time again. His family loves it there. And he's the number 6 team in the country. There's not really that much of a better job out there. So I don't think we necessarily need to cover Lane Kiffin, but I have seen some rumors on 3 guys that might potentially leave, one that could get fired. The first 2, I don't see leaving their current spots. Marcus Freeman, as well as Tim Elko in College Station. But let's talk about Dabo Sweeney. He's kind of on the hot seat right now. Seems unwilling to adjust to the NIL era. Do you see Dabo at Clemson next year? If not, where do you see him?
I don't think Clemson's going to move on from Dabo. I think it's going to be a Dabo moving on from Clemson situation. Some people might call me crazy for saying that, but that's just the hunch I have. If I'm putting myself in his shoes, you have a chance to resurrect your career and kind of do what John Calipari did going from Kentucky to Arkansas in hoops. I think with today's day and age, he's got to adapt with the times, and you have a chance to go to a bunch now with this era of college sports. You can go to a mid-level Power 4 school, and if you're a big name coach, you're going to bring in that money from the donors. You're going to get the buzz going, and I think it's a lot easier you have a lot more options if you're Dabo, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him venture on over to the SEC. It'd probably be a lower caliber SEC school, but hey, just look at what Vanderbilt's done the last couple of years. All it takes is one special player, a couple special dollar bills, and next thing you know, you're in contention. Now,
A couple other big names that I have seen floating around, guys that are not currently coaching college football. I think we can both agree that John Gruden is going to be a college football coach next year. Yes?
give it to me.
Where?
Whoop it, got me feeling nicey. Jimbo, I think, is a group of 5 coach right now. Maybe someone takes a swing, but with the way things ended, I think you got to kind of build yourself back up if you're Jimbo.
And the only other guy that is currently not in college football that I can really think of that I think someone should hire, especially in the SEC, I look at Florida, Coach O.
Oh, you like them Florida Gators, don't you?
He's going down to see the Gators.
Let me bring up a name that heard rumors about all over the X, the Everything app.
It's all happening on X.
What is? Let me get your take on where Lincoln Riley he stands in all this universe. He seems pretty happy at USC. They seem to be pretty happy with him. But everyone's going to price, and don't be shocked if LSU comes a calling. That's all I'm going to say.
That's interesting. I don't hate that idea. I think that Lincoln Riley is a terrific offensive mind. That USC offense has been incredible this season with Jaden Mayava and King Miller. We saw what they did to come back against Nebraska last week in the blackout. I don't see Lincoln Riley leaving USC. I think that is a great job, and I think that their defense has been so bad that it's really tough for me to believe that he is going to be able to stop SEC offenses. I think he might be able to score 50 a game, but that's a Big 12 game. You have to get stops in the SEC, and I think a guy like Kalen DeBoer might run circles around him play calling.
That's totally fair. That's what everyone says, and I'm willing to stand on that totem pole, be the lone person.
I'm with you. I think that the hottest name in the carousel once the offseason hits is going to be Eric Morris, the University of North Texas Mean Green head coach. They've had an incredible season this year. I think they're going to be the group of 5 team that ends up getting in. Regardless, Drew Mestemaker is the best group of 5 quarterback in the country. And wherever Eric Morris goes, you would have to imagine Drew Mestemaker follows.
Definitely. Everything's a package deal these days. Where do you think he'd end up?
I really, really could see him at Oklahoma State.
Really?
I think that is a really poor program. Clearly, maybe the worst team in America right now, but it's pretty close, just a couple hours north. And there's some
feel like-
history there. If you start winning games, that fan base will buy in.
Without a doubt. I just think a bigger school is going to come knocking.
Absolutely. That's 100% a possibility. What about like a UCLA or a Penn State?
We'll see. I don't know. They could try to go get an NFL guy. I don't know. Bring down a coordinator. We'll see. But I feel like no NFL coordinator, and one of those guys is going to want to come down to the college ranks these days.
I agree with you. Another less opportune situation is Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. He went to Vanderbilt. He's done terrific things at Vanderbilt. Brought that program to heights they could not have even imagined years ago. Like you said, everybody has their price. How much money would the Auburn Tigers have to give Clark Lee?
I think you triple it and then some. I don't know. Vandy's got deep pockets. I think we're all forgetting about that. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Clark Lee stays put. Same with Dillingham. I know those are 2 hot names, but both alums of their school. They got all the resources they could want, really, and the opportunity to build something that they envisioned and dreamed about, I'm sure, is something that they want.
All right, let's get to this week.
Yeah.
Give me a game. What are you thinking about? Talk to me.
I was taking a look at the slate of games we've got for this week upcoming, and there's ones that definitely stood out. We got a first start in Pittsburgh. College game day will be there. The return of Pat McAfee. I feel very good about Notre Dame in this ball game. I'm happy to dive into why, but when it comes to Notre Dame, I think they're a well-oiled machine hitting their stride at the right time. And that early morning game in Pittsburgh, I don't know. I feel like Notre Dame's just going to come in and steamroll them.
Let's talk about Notre Dame because the new college football playoff rankings came out today. This is Tuesday. We'll release this episode on Thursday, but Notre Dame is up to number 9 now. They are really good. And yes, I understand the argument that the game that you play against Miami has to matter. It does. But Notre Dame is, simply put, a better football team than Miami. And I've said it on this show before. I don't feel like there's too much of a need to talk about Notre Dame and their playoff implications because if they go 10-2, they're in. It doesn't matter. If they go 9-3, they're out. It doesn't matter. Am I missing something there? I agree with you. I think Notre Dame wins big this weekend.
You're right on.
Which is why I just don't necessarily get all of the outrage about the Notre Dame rankings. Okay, yes, Miami beat them a long time ago. Miami lost to Louisville at home. What are you going to do? Notre Dame, if they are 10-2, is going to get in every single year in the 12-team playoff era. It doesn't matter. It's the brand. Let's go to the next game. I have circled Oklahoma at Alabama. Number 11, Oklahoma. Number 4, Alabama. Alabama opens 6.5-point favorites. What do you make of this game?
What do I think when I look at this game? I think of 3:30 in Bryant-Denny on ESPN. I think John Mateer is going to bring the boys and get them ready to play. I think that Oklahoma defense is really tough, physical. I have all the respect for Kalen DeBoer, besides that he's a snake. But in terms of what they do on the field, him and Grubb are just masterminds. And they've had an incredible season. I don't think that's going to stop. but I do think the Sooners are going to keep it close. Don't be surprised if this game ends up being a game-winning drive or a game-winning kick, because I think the Sooners are going to be right in it and they're going to cover.
I'm with you. I really like Oklahoma plus the points in this ball game. I think that we saw that John Mateer came back too early from that injury and ended up playing against Texas in Dallas. They lost that game to the Longhorns. I think Mateer has started to look better week after week since that game. I think he will get back to form over the next few weeks, and I see this Oklahoma team peaking over the next few games. They are not going to make the SEC championship unless something crazy happens. But if they have a couple big wins, they get a little help, you could see Oklahoma with an at-large bid in the playoff.
Crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. We talked about USC for a second. They're hosting number 21 Iowa, who put up a great fight with Oregon last week. They only fall one spot in the new CFP rankings, down to 21. USC is 6.5-point favorites. I think that the USC offense is really dynamic. Iowa always has a good defense, but I don't know if they can keep up with the pace of the Trojans. I think Lincoln Riley might shove it down their throats.
I agree. When I first looked at this game, I initially thought has trap game written all over it for USC. They've got Oregon the following week, and a tough Iowa physical team's going to roll into the Coliseum and keep it close. But then I looked a little bit further, saw it was a early game. Usually that doesn't bode well for the teams coming from Central Time for some reason and Eastern Time. Everything in the Big Ten, now that I'm a Big Ten guy, no matter where you travel, it's tough. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot for LA. And I'm sure a lot of Iowa fans are going to make the trip. Like you said, I think SC is going to blow them out. And it'll set up for a big-time game next week in Autzen.
Okay, let's move on down to Athens. Number 10, Texas, coming off of a bye week after a huge win against Vanderbilt at home. I was at that game. They got to go and play number 5, Georgia. Georgia's 6.5-point favorites at home. The Dogs have looked good. Their defense is not as good as it is usually, but Kirby Smart, one of the best coaches in the history of college football. Do you think he has the Dogs ready for the Longhorns and Steve Sarkisian off of a bye?
I look at this game and I see two classic brands, an electric atmosphere. Still have doubts about Arch, but he's had some moments, but really it goes back to Uga's championship DNA. Something about those hedges, man. In between those hedges. I know Sark's coming off a bye, but give me the Bulldogs. Give me Kirby. I think they're going to be a sneaky team.
I think Texas keeps this close through about 3 quarters. I think that Kirby might be able to pull away. If Arch turns the ball over at all, I think it's going to be a really tough day for Texas.
Yep. Full constrictor game.
Oh, a constrictor game. I like that. Stakes are high. Pressure's on. Lights are on.
Squeeze
Arch,
him.
still a first-year starter. He hasn't been to Athens as a starter. Okay. We highlighted a couple big games there. Let's move on. So myself and Patty here are in what is called the Burrito. Probably the most electric pick'em pool that's ever been created. Shout out Uncle Stove.
Shout out.
In the Burrito, you get to pick 5 games against the spread every week. I started at unbelievably bad pace. I have picked it up a little bit. I am 23-32 on the season, still very poor. Patty, you are 28-27, 25th in the Burrito. Let's make some picks here. Let's alternate. I would like you to go first, sir.
All right. Yeah. First of all, the Burrito. Been a huge fan of it ever since I joined. This year we've had a pretty solid year, but looking to make a move towards the end. I'll start off first. I have some mixed emotions about my first pick right here. On one hand, got a lot of love for the Yukon Huskies and their punter Connor Stutz. But give me the Air Force Falcons plus 7.5. 9 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. I got family that was in Air Force. I ride them quite a bit, and they always seem to keep these ones close. I know UConn's coming off a big win. Letdown spot here.
All right, Patty's got the Falcons out of Colorado Springs. Is that game at home, by the way?
That game is in Connecticut. Cross-country travel for the Air Force Falcons, but they're used to flying.
They're used to it. I don't doubt that's going to affect them. I love those late-night games. I was at a bar last weekend checking the score on the Hawaii-San Diego State game at 1:30 in the morning because that is what we are all about here on the sports section. We watch all those games. You got to love the fellas from Honolulu getting it done at home. They were underdogs, and they hung a huge number on SDSU. That game kicked off at 11 p.m. on the East Coast. It's awesome. Thank you. Football.
Bows up.
My first pick in the burrito this week, the Indiana Hoosiers. Kurt Signetti loves to cover. Last weekend, a trap game kept it very close with Penn State, one of the best catches of the season. Everybody saw that. I think the Hoosiers moved to 11-0 against a poor Wisconsin team. We're going to lay the 29.5 with the number 2 team in the nation. Patty Kane.
All right. We've already talked about USC and Notre Dame, so I'm riding with both of those teams this weekend. But my fourth pick, it's a team I've been big fan of all year. I'm a huge fan of their coach, Jason Eck. But the Lobos of New Mexico, at home, laying 14.5 against Colorado State, who's 2-7. Jason Eck is another guy who just loves to cover. He has a binder full of trick plays. If you haven't watched the Lobos play, they are a fun team. Expect him to also be in the carousel for a head coaching job this offseason.
We talk coaching carousel. Let's get to a coaching carousel game. LSU at home. -5 in the hook against Arkansas. Both teams don't have a coach. That's a tough place to play. Arkansas, I don't know what you got. I know LSU's got Garrett Nussmeier. He's a good quarterback. I think that Arkansas keeps this close for about 14 minutes, and I think that the Tigers pull away. -5.5, book it. I got an L word, Patty. We don't say the L word on this podcast. I'll say it one time right now. I'll never say it again on this show. Just to let you guys know at home, the L word is lock. There is no such thing as a lock. Stop calling your picks the L word. We will never say that word on this show. This is as close as it gets. We have seen how poor Miami has been this season. We have seen how much the Wolfpack from NC State likes to make things interesting. Give me North Carolina State, 14 in the hook. All the points. Give them to me.
Shout out Connor Stockham.
He reposted us today on his Instagram. He's been texting me about the show. He loves it.
Gotta have him on.
Get you on for a golf segment at some point. Shout out our guy.
Saw him in Madison. When I ran into him, I was a little bit intoxicated. So, Connor, great to see you.
He had boots on ground. Patty, your fifth and final?
All right. My fifth and final pick is a team that I've just been in love with all year. The Yellow Jackets out of G-Tech. They're playing at Boston College this weekend, laying 16.5. It's a large number for a morning-afternoon game in Boston, and Boston College is 1-9. So it's a bit scary, but Haynes King is a guy that I think any college fan base would love to have as their quarterback. He epitomizes what toughness is, and the Yellow Jackets just seem to find a way. Wouldn't be surprised if they have a awesome matchup that sets them up for a potential playoff game against UGA. We already talked about Georgia and what they've been doing, but Georgia Tech, Georgia might be the game of Thanksgiving weekend. I'll say that.
So I was watching the ranking show today. There is a scenario where the ACC champion does not get into the playoff. It's a possibility. You don't get in for being a conference champion. You get in for being a top 5 ranked conference champion. And the ACC is weird, and I don't think they're very good. Patty, I'm not with you on that one. I don't think that Georgia Tech is very good. I got a lot of respect for Haynes King. They just lost to North Carolina State, who is now a 14.5-point underdog against Miami, who lost to Louisville at home. I'm not with the ACC. I think this is a poor conference. I thought that Virginia was very good. Chandler Morris got hurt last week, and they lost. My next pick, I talked about him earlier, Drew Mestamaker. Give me the mean green. 18 and a hook, and I will round it out with my guy Lane Kiffin. He likes to run up the score. Playing against a Florida team without a head coach that has been very poor this season, Lagway has underperformed compared to his preseason expectations. I'm going to lay the 16 and a half. Hotty toddy. All right. New segment here on the sports section. We're going to call it Mascot Jeopardy for now. Going to go ahead and test each other's ball knowledge on college mascots. We'll go back and forth. Some obscure mascots. Patty, I got some that I think you should know. I'll let you go first. Go ahead. Give me a quiz.
All right, we just shooting rapid fire here, alternating.
Give me the school.
All right. Stetson.
Patty, I got that one written on my card right here. They are the Hatters.
All
Sorry,
right, I don't think either of us get a point for that.
Sorry, pal. No points there. It's on my card. This is an easy one. This is a layup for you. Really hope you get it. St. Louis University.
St. Louis. Oh gosh,
Did I get you?
it's a Blue Devil mascot. It's a Blue Devil mascot, right?
It is a blue.
Blue Hen.
I'm sorry, Patrick. That is incorrect. St. Louis University is the Billikens.
Gosh, tough start. Tough start.
0 for 1.
All right. Let's go. Presbyterian College.
Presbyterian.
And yes, this is a Division I school.
The Stag.
Really close. The Scots.
Scott.
Scotty the Scotsman.
Who's the Stag? I don't know. All right. Next one for you. Niagara.
Niagara. I don't think I've ever heard of Niagara. We might need to make this a bit easier for me, but Niagara, it's got to be something related to the falls. Give me the Rapids.
That was the toughest one I had on the card. Not even close. They are the Purple Eagles.
All right. So far we're 0 for 3.
Yes. We are
All
not
right.
good right now. Give it to me.
I think you're going to get this one. Duquesne.
Oh, my God. I know this. They make the tournament all the time. Duquesne. I was going to say the Governors, but I know I'm thinking of Austin P there. I feel like it's a political, kind of like a political mascot. Am I on the right track there?
It's a person sort of thing. I don't know if it's a political literally, but something.
Dukes?
Yes, it is.
That was my first gut instinct, but then I thought James Madison.
Go with your gut, man.
I'll take the Dukes. Okay. Next one for you, Patty. I hope that you get this one. Delaware.
This is the Blue Hens, right?
There you go. You said it earlier. It's the Blue Hens. You get one.
There we go. All right. Fourth mascot I've got is Robert Morris.
Robert Morris. I can visualize it too. Robert Morris. I think you stumped me there, Pat. What is Robert Morris?
They're the Colonials, and their mascot's name is Romo.
Romo?
Thought you'd like that one.
Romo.
Tony Romo.
Where'd he go to college?
He went to Illinois State.
Mac School.
Gosh. Not Eastern Michigan. It's where Garoppolo went.
Eastern Michigan, Patrick. The Eagle.
Was it Eastern Michigan?
Eastern.
All right, there we go.
I got two more for you. The University of California, Santa Cruz. UC Santa Cruz.
UC Santa Cruz.
It's a tough one, but a good one.
Cruise missiles? No. Santa Cruz. Antelopes. I have no idea.
They are the banana slugs.
That is one I need to know. I pride myself on this. This is embarrassing.
I know, I do too. And we're challenging each other, to be fair. We're getting deep into the bag.
Yeah, I
But-
spent way too long researching this.
Yeah. All right, last one. What do you got for me?
You're probably going to get this. UC Davis.
UC Davis. Oh, I should know this too. UC Davis. The Antelopes?
Nope. The Aggies.
Oh, it's an easy one.
All right, give me your final one.
Final one. What do you got for my guys from Tulsa?
What are you wearing?
This is it's a helmet hoodie is what it's called. And I had it on backwards. My guys from Tulsa.
Gosh, I should know this. They played the Huskies a couple years ago. Oh, man. Their colors.
It buckles.
Oh, that rocks. My family friend actually was a linebacker for them a couple years ago. I have no idea. You stumped me, man.
Boys gotcha. The Golden Hurricane of Tulsa.
That's good. See, we're just providing some insight for our listeners right here. Come on.
We're just trying to educate.
Helping them out.
All right, I got a bird cage of college football picks I'm going to give out to you right now, wearing a helmet hoodie on the sports section. I gave you my burrito picks. We've got Indiana. We've got LSU. We've got NC State. We've got North Texas, and we got Ole Miss. You got to have action on every slate. I'm going to roll through it here. New edition of Mounsey's Minute on the sports section. Clemson and Louisville. These teams are not very good. Louisville had a good win at Miami. They could make it to the ACC title game. I don't think the ACC is any good. Clemson cannot score. They've scored 16 or less 5 times this season. We're going to take under 49.5 on a Friday night. Northwestern taking on Michigan. They're getting 12.5. We're going to take those points at Wrigley Field. Michigan coming off of a bye after a 5-point win against a not very good Purdue team who I was wearing earlier. I got Tulsa on now. Northwestern coming off back-to-back losses at Nebraska and at USC. Preston Stone, former SMU quarterback, can do things. He's getting $1 million in NIL. He should be able to do things. Next, we talk USC, Iowa. Hawkeyes kept it tight against the Ducks. Not this week against the Trojans. It's that offense. It's Jaden Mayava -6.5. Lay the points. Gave it out earlier. We're going to take it. John Mateer. Give me 6.5 in Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma against Alabama. Michigan State getting 7 in a hook. Penn State coming off a hangover game. They kept it tight against Indiana. They will not keep it tight against Michigan State. Go ahead and take the points. Next, Utah scores 1 million points a week. They blow everybody out. Baylor can score. They cannot defend. 8.5, Utah's going to lay them in Waco. Waco? Go ahead and take the Utes. Finally, this is the biggest L word I've ever seen, Patty. TCU and BYU are kicking off at 9:15 Central Time on ESPN, and the over-under is 52.5. Over. I don't need to say anything. They both score like 150 points every single week. They both can't stop anybody. The Frogs turned it over 3 times last week, and they still scored 17 against a really good defense in Iowa State. They looked terrible last week. They're probably not going to win, but they're still going to score like 30. Take the over.
Play the fight song.
Play the fight song. All right. We gave out some picks. We talked some college ball. Patrick Kane, guest host, thank you for your time, my friend. I will be using your NIL to my advantage because you share a name with someone that people know. What
People know.
Yeah. Someone that people know. So I'm going to take advantage of that NIL. This is going to come out on Thursday. We've got another episode coming out tomorrow on Friday. Me and Krez will have the UFC preview. Sports Section After Dark live on YouTube. Saturday, probably after midnight Central. But we're going to have a good time with that, I expect. Patty Kane, thank you very much for your time, my friend.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You want to hit the call God for the outro? You got to say it.
Call God.
Call God. We'll see you next time.